So we have seen a record progress in the Indian Heart Journal since you have taken over of early 2015. So will you like to tell to the readers, so how are we progressing on that?
So I would say that the key feature for any journal is how many times that journal is cited in
True.
other international journals,
Right.
other indexed impacted journals. So in that context, you will be happy to note that we now had a historic high number of citations actually. Say before 2015, the maximum number of citations, we could never cross 200. So the maximum were about 196, something like that. So 196 was the highest. For the first time in 2015, so 2016 we'll know only in 2017,
Correct.
but first time in 2015 that we have crossed this, like barrier of 200 citations, and we have reached actually 249 citations. So it has been a big jump in number of citations. So that is one place where you know the true value of any journal. How many times the journal is quoted and cited in other journals. That is one. Second thing is there's something called journal rank. So normally, always the medical journals have a better rank compared to specialty journals. For example, if you look at the JACC or circulation, their impact factor is around 15, something like that, both of them. But if you take the medical journals, the medical journals, if you take any JM, for example, has an impact factor of 50 plus, and Lancet has 45 plus. So that means they are at least 3 times more impactful than subspecialty journal. And the reason is that they have more wider reach, wider penetration, more applicability all over. But for the first time, Indian Heart Journal, in more than a decade, Indian Heart Journal has actually exceeded the contemporary, medical journal, that is JAPI. And now we are, ranked higher than even JAPI.
I think that's a great achievement for AIIMS.
So that's happened quite recently. And so these are, and then of course, the value of journal comes from how many people want to submit their work in the journal. Yes. So to give it a perspective, like 2 years back, say like 2014 till 2014, the total number of submissions were about 250. They never crossed 300 ever. But you would be happy to note that now we are reaching a submission of about 1,000. So that is nearly 4 times. Nearly 4 times what was happening before. So that just shows that there is excitement in the minds of people to try to submit papers in Indian Heart Journal rather than any other journal.
Very correct. So any plan of coming other journals?
Yes, you are right. Actually, as a matter of fact, for the Indian Heart Journal started 1961. From 1961 till 2015, we had only one Indian Heart Journal. But in the 2015, we started another journal in the family of Indian Heart Journal. Now we call it a AIIHJ family. And that journal was AIIHJ Cardiovascular Case Reports. And now again in 2017, we are planning yet another journal, that is AIIHJ Interventions. So clearly, because submissions are increasing, our interest is increasing, and we want to expand into other areas which now we can focus on them. So we can focus on case reports, focus on interventions.
So AIIHJ has taken a step further, I will say, and has started participating in major international cardiovascular congresses as well. We saw your presence in multiple events. So will you like to tell something more about that?
So, I will just give you the concept behind the whole thing, the philosophy behind it. So, the first part is to increase excitement, increase, awareness of a journal so that more people start submitting. But once people start submitting, then you have to, for any scientific journal, you have to get it peer reviewed. So peer reviewed means you have to get it at least one for every submission. 4 reviewers should be there who should look at it critically and say whether it is good and suggest changes and so on and so forth. So you require 4. So if you see, we have 1,000 submissions every year. So that means we require 4,000 reviewers. In India at the moment, the people who are capable of reviewing could be about 250. So we require 4,000, but we have only 250 individuals. That too you can't send again and again. People will get, will not appreciate. They will do it once in a year, twice a year, but not every week, every day, something like that. So clearly you have to move beyond the country to get quality reviewers.
Correct.
So to get quality reviewers, you have to have that journal should have awareness all over the world. So that people, once they say, okay, the review has come from Indian Art Journal, let me review it. If they don't know the journal, who will review it?
Correct.
So our approach has been to try to increase the visibility of Indian Art Journal. And actually the way we do it is we actually thank the reviewers who have done for us. We give them certain awards also. So that there is a excitement among the reviewers to try to review IHJ manuscripts, and we are able to get that magic figure of 4,000. So that otherwise the manuscripts will be delayed. One thing more that has happened is that although our numbers of submissions has increased, you would expect that time to decision would increase because now you have so many things. As a matter of fact, our time to decision has decreased, and we are even better than what we did it in 2014. We are much better now in 2015, even 2016. We are even better than 2015. So every year actually, although our numbers increase, but our reviewing time has decreased, so that people get quick decisions and quality decisions. So that can only happen if we have international reviewers on board, and that is our idea of going to major meetings. We did the first one we launched this concept, and the first meeting was ESC in London last year. Then we repeated it in ACC Chicago. And then finally, we did it this year again, ESC Roma. Of course, we are planning to do it in again ACC the next year in Washington.
I think it's the right step in making more visibility at a global level.
Yeah, and further the good thing is that you get more manuscripts submitted. So if you the people there is available, we are getting from Latin America, we are getting from places like Croatia, we are getting from Cyprus, the countries all over the globe we are getting now submissions. Turkey, Iran are big, they submit a lot of papers. But even these smaller countries, Belarus, I recently saw somebody submitted from Belarus, Ukraine, Russia, of course, many people submit, China, Russia, Japan, we have. But, even these smaller, interesting, Venezuela, we are getting. So, yeah.
And we have seen a lot of supplements also have started coming.
Yeah, so one thing is that, not only we have to do well scientifically, we need to have a social direction. So whatever is new, we need to see how it translates into Indian practice.
Correct.
So for that matter, we have done certain supplements. For example, we did one supplement for stroke prevention in AF, because that is something which is a neglected territory in India, and very few people get anticoagulation for AF for whatever cause in India. So we wanted to focus on that. And recently, just now we got out another supplement in chronic CAD. Everybody focuses on STEMI, etc. But nobody knows, there are what to do with chronic CAD.
True.
And not only that, our aim is not to copy the Western guidelines, but to develop, some treatment algorithms for our physicians, so that they know exactly what to do, rather than get confused with guidelines 2A, recommendation 1B, something, they get confused, they don't know what to do. Here we have a clear idea, and we give them a clear pathway. This happens, do this. And that is the idea of the whole supplement. Another supplement we are going to come out early next year, and that is the STEMI position statement and STEMI supplement. And I'm sure it will it will definitely show how India is different from West and what should be done in Indian context. I think that will come out very, very clearly, I hope, in the next supplement.
True. So what are the next plans, sir?
So our plans are that, number one is to get more and more impact factor as the time goes on. So that will give us more credibility in scientific arena, and to do more social activities, as I said. So we have already, after this, we have planned a CHF supplement, the heart failure treatment algorithm. Because now there is a lot of confusion. A patient comes, whether to give aldosterone antagonist or not give, whether to give ACE inhibitor or to give ARB, or whether to give ARNI.
Sure.
People are really confused now what to do with which patient. And so we need guidance there, but those guidelines will not help because they are too confusing for an average lay physician. So what we will do is we will develop a very good treatment algorithms for them, and then they can easily know what to do in their own context, in Indian context, in their own practice. And then after heart failure, we have planned another whole series, and whole year I think we will come out with these interesting treatment algorithms and as a part of supplements, so that which will give guidance to all. ACS supplement can be the next intervention supplement, and so on.
I think it's great going, and we wish you all the best, sir, in this journey. Thanks a lot for
Thanks.
joining us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. If you take the medical journals, the medical journals, if you take any JM,
Correct.
for example, has an impact factor of 50 plus, and